Good morning. In today's session, we'll see about conditional statements and iterative statements. In previous session, we have seen the basics of Python, and in continuation to that, so we'll see more about conditional statements and iterative statements. So, what are conditional statements and iterative statements? Let us see first about conditional statements. So, conditional statements are features of a programming language which perform different computations or actions depending on whether the given condition evaluates to true or false. So it is nothing but the condition is tested, then the statement is executed corresponding to it. So conditional statements in Python are of three different types, including nested if. It is four different types. So one is simple if statement, if else statement, if elif statement, and nested if statement. So if statement is used to run a statement conditionally, that is, if given condition is true, then only the statement given in a block will be executed. So for example, the syntax of simple if statement is if condition colon followed by a statement block. So if you let us see that in detail with the example. If percentage greater than 33, print pass. In this example, what happens is, if the condition, that is the percentage, is greater than 33, a print statement prints the message pass. If it not satisfies, it doesn't do anything. So simple if statement is to perform a simple to check the simple condition and follow the statement. If else statement. In the case of if else statement, if the given condition is true, then the statement given in if block will be executed. Otherwise, the statements written in else block will be executed. So there are two things here. If the condition is satisfies, then what is to be done, and if it is not satisfies, then what is to be done. So the syntax is as follows: if condition, if statement block, else statement block. There is two parts here. So in the earlier if statement, only if the condition satisfies, it follows some statements, and if it is not satisfies, it doesn't do anything. But here, in case of else, it also performs another statements. Let us see the example here. In this example, if percentage is greater than 33, print pass, else print fail. That means if the percentage is greater than 33, it displays pass statement, and otherwise it displays fail message. So let us see the next version of if statement, that is if elif statement. If elif is used for execution of statements based on several alternatives. Here we use one or more elif clauses. Python evaluates each condition in turn and executes the statements corresponding to the first if that is true. If none of the expressions are true, and an else clause will be executed. So set of conditions you want to test it, then we normally use if else elif statement. So the syntax is if condition, then statement followed by it, elif condition, then statement followed by elif statement. So similarly, you can have any number of elif statements. At the last, you have a else statement. So you can see this example and understand more clearly. That is, here if percentage greater than 90, print outstanding is written. Elif percentage greater than 80, print excellent is written. So similarly, there are other elif statements are written. The last else print fail is written. So as per this condition, So if the percentage is greater than 90, it will display outstanding message, and if it is greater than 80, it displays excellent message. So same manner, the set of conditions are tested here. Corresponding print message will be displayed. If any of these condition is not true, then it goes to the else statement. Nested if else statement. Nested if else statement. So here a statement, if statement within another if statement is called as a nested if statement. So you can have one more if statement within an if else statement, that we call it as a nested if statement. So you can see this syntax. So within if condition, we have one more if condition followed by its corresponding statements and else statements. Similarly, in else part, we can also have another if statement in else part. So this way of writing, that is one if statement within another if, is called as a nested if statements. So you can also use another if statements in else part of if statements. To make it clear, see the example. If color equal to red, if item equal to fruit, print it is an apple, else it may be tomato or rose. So in this case, if color equal to red, if this condition satisfies, then again it tests another condition, that is if item equal to fruit, then it displays it is an apple. That means if the color is red and item is fruit, then it will display apple. The same manner, if color is red and item is not fruit, then it display it may be tomato or rose. If color is not red, that means it in the else part, then it checks whether color is yellow. If the color is not red and the color is yellow, it displays banana. Similarly, if color is not red and the color is not yellow, then it may be corn or marigold. Followed? So here, within one if statement, you have used one more if else statement, and similarly within else statement we have used one more if else statement. This way of writing one if within another is called as nested if. Let us move to the next. So we have seen conditional statements and various ways of using conditional statement. Now let us see iterative statements. What are iterative statements? Iteration statements or loop statements allows us to execute a block of statements repeatedly as long as the condition is true. So you want to repeat any statements again and again, then we can put it under a loop, so that we call it as a iteration statements. So what are the ways of creating iteration statements? We'll see. In Python we use while loop, for loop, and also one loop within another loop, that we call it as a nested loops. So in three different ways iteration can be done. We'll see one by one. First one is while loop in Python. So while loop in Python is used to execute a block of statements till the given condition is true, and when condition is false, the control will come out of the loop. The condition is checked every time at the beginning of the loop. So you can see the syntax here. In while loop syntax, first we'll write while, then we'll write condition followed by the statements. That means whenever the condition satisfies, the statements followed by the while statement will be executed. We'll see with the example. So the first example, x equal to 0 while x less than 5. So in the first beginning x value will be 0, so 0 is less than 5. Print x, so it displays the value 0. After that we are incrementing the x value by 1, that is x equal to x plus 1. So x becomes 1 now. So whatever is written under the while will be repeated. So control will be transferred from here to the while statement here, conditions. So now x is 1, so 1 is less than 5, so it prints x, that is it prints 1, and again x value is incremented. So same manner it continues. So when it reaches 4, for example 4 is less than 5, it is true, so it prints 4, then x value becomes 5. Now x is 5, so 5 less than 5 is not satisfied, so the condition becomes false, so the control will be coming out of the loop. So you will get the output 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So 5 is not displayed because when it is 5 the condition is not satisfied, so it broke out of the loop. The second example, where x is 1, while x less than or equal to 5, print welcome. So what happens is x is 1 in the beginning, so 1 is less than or equal to 5, it is true. It displays one time the welcome message. The next value is incremented by 1, x becomes 2, so 2 is less than or equal to 5, it is true again. It displays again another welcome message, then x is incremented, so this way it repeats. So when x becomes 5, so 5 less than or equal to 5, it is again true, so it displays a welcome message. So 1 to 5 times you will get the welcome message here. I hope you understood this. So we can also use else statement with while loop. So the else part is executed if the condition in the while loop becomes false. So it is not compulsory to use else always, but we can also use else statement with while. So let us see the example. So here x is equal to 1, while x less than 5, print message is displayed, that is inside while loop value of x is x. So you are displaying the value of displaying a message with the value of x. Then x is incremented, x equal to x plus 1. So first time x value here is 1, so 1 less than 5 is true, so it displays inside while loop. Then again x value is incremented. Now it continues the loop here, so x becomes 1, x becomes 2, so 2 less than 5, then it prints the message, then 3. So like this it completes. After completion it comes to the else part. So after completion of the loop, the else part will be executed. So what is written there? Print inside else value of x is x. So we'll get the output inside while loop value of x is 1, inside while loop value of x is 2, like this it repeats up to 4. When it is 5, it comes out, that is after else what is written will be printed. So let us see an example of infinite while loop. So infinite loop is a loop in which condition always remains true. So always it is true, so you will get a continuous messages or continuously statement is executed. In this example x is 1, while x equal to 1. So whenever x value is 1, you are displaying a message hello. So then it repeats, x value is again 1. So we are not changing the value of x, so it is always 1. So it prints hello repeatedly. So you will get the hello message repeated again and again. This we call it as an infinite loop. Now the second statement used for iteration is for loop. For loop in Python is used to iterate over items of any sequence, such as a list or a string. The syntax of for loop is for value in sequence followed by the statements. We'll see the example. Here, in first example, for I in range 1, 5. So what happens is the I value will be picked up from this range. So in range first value is specified, that is as 1. So starting value of I will be 1 and the last value of I will be 1 less than the number specified here, because the uppermost limit is not included. So 1 to 4. So I value will be 1 first time, so it prints I, that is 1. Then it repeats. So I value will be automatically incremented by 1. So I becomes 2. So 2 will be printed. Then I becomes 3. 3 will be printed. Then I becomes 4. 4 will be printed. Next value will be 5. So 5 will not be printed because the upper limit is not included in this. In the second example, instead of range function, it is written for I in, and a list of values are specified there. Without using range also you can use for loop, that is, here in this case I will pick up the value from this list only. So that is I value will be 1 first time, then I value becomes 2, then I value becomes 3. So first time when I value is 1, it prints welcome once, then I value becomes 2, then it prints welcome and again, then I becomes 3, welcome will be printed. So this way 4 times the welcome message will be displayed. So most of the time we use range function along with for loop. So it is a specialty of range function. Let us see here. The range function is a built-in that is used to iterate our sequence of numbers. So while specifying range functions we use like this. We will specify starting number, then ending number and step. So in this step is not compulsory, it is a optional. So starting to ending, if you want to with the difference or step, you can specify step, otherwise you can leave this part. So starting means starting number of the sequence, stop means generating the number up to but not including the number, so 1 less than the number what is specified there. Step optional, step is optional, so which determines the increment between each number in the sequence. That means if you write step 2 here in this case, step place 2, that means increment by 2. Okay, we'll see some examples based on this. So in first example, for I in range 5, so we are not specified starting or ending, only 5. So what happens is it picks starting value. By default it starts from 0 up to 4, 1 less than this number, 0 1 2 3 4. So total 5 values will be printed. In example 2, we have specified for I in range 2, 9, print I. So starting value of I will be 2, then it will be 3, then it will be 4, like this up to 8, 1 less than this number. In third example, we have passed 3 arguments, that is 2, 9, 2. So in this case, starting value will be 2, then it increments by 2. So in the previous example, we have not specified the third argument, so automatically the number will be incremented by 1. So in this, it increments by 2. So first it prints 2, then it prints 4, then 6, then 8. So when 9 is not included, so up to 8 the numbers will be displayed. And in fourth example, we can notice starting value is 0, ending value is -10, and the increment value is -2. So what happens is the starting value will be displayed, that is 0, then -2, -4, -6, -8. So -10 is not included. So this way the output will be displayed. I hope you understood the for statement clearly. Just like while statement, in for loop also we can use else in Python. The else in is an optional block that can be used with for loop. The else block with for loop executed only if for loop terminates normally. This means that the loop did not encounter any break. Let us see the example. So here a list is defined, that is 2, 3, 4, 6, 7 are the elements of the list. For I in range 0, len function len of list, that means length of list will give you the length of the list. In this case, the length of the list will be 5 because there are 5 elements. So what happens is I value starts from 0, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Total 5 values. So list of I, that means starting value of I will be 0. So list of 0 equal to 4. And next time it will be list of 1 will be 4. List of 2 equal to 4. Like this it keeps on checking. So whenever it is matching, that is I value is 4, list of I value is 4, then it displays list as 4. So what happens, first time 2 will be matched with this, so it is not true. Then 3 will be matched with this, it is not true. 4 will be matched with this. So when it is 4, it displays list as 4. So then it continues with 6, continues with 7, but nothing matches, so it will display only list as 4. After that, after the loop completed for part, the first part of the for loop is completed, then it goes to else. So in else, what is written? List does not have 4, so it displays list does not have 4. Is it clear? So else is executed only after completion of the loop. So next we'll see about nested loops. So in conditional statement we have seen nested if. So where one if is written within another. The same manner, one loop statement can be written within another loop, so that we call it as a nested loop. The placing of one loop inside the body of another loop is called nesting. When you nest two loops, the outer loop takes control of the number of completed repetition of inner loop. So we'll come to know clearly with this example. So to print a message like this 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, we can just write the statements followed. So I equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 4. So first time I value will be 1, so 1 is less than or equal to 4. J equal to 1 while j less than or equal to I. So what happens is I is 1 now, j is also 1. So j equal to 1, it is satisfying. What happens? It is displays the j value. J is 1. 1 is displayed one time. Then j is incremented by 1. So j becomes 2. So what happens? You have two loops. The inner loop completes first. So j plus is equal to 1 is done. After that j becomes 2. So 2 less than or equal to 1. It is not satisfying the condition. So that's why it goes to the outer loops. Before it goes to outer loop, you have two statements here. It prints the space, then I is incremented by 1. So I becomes 2 now. So then it starts from the outer loop now with the I value 2. So 2 is less than or equal to 4. It is true. Then j is 1 again. So 1 less than or equal to 2. It is true. So it just displays the value of j. So that is displays 1. Similarly, it increments the j value by 1. So j becomes 2. So 2 less than or equal to 2. It is also again true. So it just prints that 2. After that, j becomes 3, so condition becomes false. So it displays a space along with that I value is incremented by 1. So it goes to the outer loop again with a value 3. So this way it is repeated till this condition is satisfied. So you will get a pyramid like this 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this statements you notice that one while loop is written within another. So what happens is it starts from the outer loop, it goes inside the loop. After completion of the inner loop, then only it comes to the outer loop and continues the loop, completes the loop. Clear? So here while one loop is written within another, this is called as a nested loop. We'll see one more example for the nested loop. In case you want to display 5, 5, 4, 5, 4, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 this way. So number is decreasing order and the pyramid is in slope. So if you want it like this, what you need to do is start with the higher number, that is I is equal to 5, while I greater than or equal to 1, because we want up to 1. So 5 is greater than or equal to 1, it is true. J is also initialized as 5. So while j greater than or equal to I, so j is 5, so 5 greater than or equal to 5, so it satisfies 1, so it will display the value of j. Next time you want to reduce it 5 to 4, so j minus is equal to 1, so it reduces. So just like how we did in the earlier program, so here it completes the inner loop, displays the required statements, then it goes to the outer loop and repeats the statements. So this way one loop can be written within another, so to get the pyramid like this. So we have seen nested loop using while loop. So it is also possible to have a nested loop using for loop. So to do the same task we can also use for loops. So what happens in for loop? For I in range 1, 5 is written, that means starting value of I will be 1, and after completion of the loop, so I becomes 2, then I becomes 3, up to 4, the last value will be 4, 1 less than the number specified here. So it starts from inner loop, then enters the, so start from outer loop, then enters the inner loop. After completion of the loop, then it goes to the next iteration. So for example, in this case, I will be 1, then it enters the inner loop, j will be 1, so print j, so it prints j, ends with the space, then again it repeats the inner loop, so j value is incremented by 1. So first time what is written 1 comma I plus 1, so I, what is I is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2, so here it is 2, that means 1 to 1, so it repeats only one time. So j value is displayed one time, that is 1 is displayed one time, then it goes to the outer loop. Before it goes to the outer loop, it prints a space there, and it goes to the outer loop, I becomes 2. So next it enters the inner loop. For j in range 1 comma I is 2, now 2 plus 1, so 1 to 2 times, so 1 to 2 times j will be displayed, that is j will be 1 first time, then j will be 2, then again with the space, then it goes to the outer loop once again, I becomes 3, j will be starting from 1 to 3, 1 to 3 plus 1, that is 1 to, j value will be 1 to 3, so again it displays those, continues with the loop. So here also the inner loop completes for starting from outer loop, enters into the inner loop, completes the iteration. After completion iteration, then it goes to the outer loop and go to the next value of I and continues the loop. So I hope you are clear with the nested loops. So we have seen these concepts in class 11 also. We are explaining it again to make it clear, and these are the most useful statements we use everywhere. Whatever higher end programs you are writing, most of the times we check conditions, we want to repeat some task again and again, so we'll use these conditional and iteration statements. So condition statements are the statements used for checking conditions. We normally use if statement, if else statement, if if statement, and nested statement for condition testing. So if statement is just checks the condition and follows the statement, and it doesn't do if it is not satisfied. It doesn't do anything if it is not satisfied. If else statement, there are two parts. If it is satisfied, what is to be done, and if it is not satisfied, then what is to be done. And if else statement, where multiple conditions can be checked and the corresponding value will be displayed, or corresponding statements will be executed. In nested if, one if statement within another, we call it as a nested if statement. We have seen example. and anything you want to repeat again and again, then you will use reiteration statements. We also call it as a looping statements. So mainly there are two looping statements, while loop and for loop, and also one loop within another loop. We call it as a nested loop. So while statement where condition will be tested in the beginning, if it is satisfied, the body of the loop will be executed. As an example of while statement with the loop with else and without else. If you use with else, then the repetition after the condition is tested, the body of the loop will be executed. After completion of the loop, then it comes to the else part. Same manner in for loop also, we use range function or without range function, for loop can be executed. So here automatically the value will be incremented. For example, here I in range 1 comma 5, which means that starting value 5 will be 1, then it is automatically incremented by 1. You can also increment by specifying the step, or without specifying the step, automatically it increases by 1. Even the list can also be used in for statement to get the variable values from the list. Next, we have seen for loop with else also. Just like when while loop, after completion of the loop, it comes to the else part if you are using else statement with the for. So a nested loop is a loop inside another loop. So it can be a while loop or for loop. So we have seen the examples of these loops. I hope you are clear with the concepts of conditional statements and iterative statements. We'll see the next concepts in next session. Thank you.